Hello everyone and welcome to Tailored Acres. I'm Taylor and I am a gardener in Wisconsin Zone 4B, and this video will be the June garden tour. Over the last month we have seen super high temps and some pretty low temps. It has been a wild ride. We've also had so much rain and a lot of sun in between, so the weeds are out of control. But also, there's been so much growth on all of the plants. I have been keeping up with weeding fairly well in the vegetable garden, and also this garage garden I just got done weeding and mulching, but many of the areas need another round of weeding and mulching because of our weather that we've been having. I do have some cut flowers ready, and I've been making a few bouquets every week, mostly just for myself and friends and family. I love having cut flower bouquets for little thank yous because they bring so much joy to both me and the person receiving them. I'm also learning to rely more heavily on perennials for cut flowers to make my job a little bit easier, and also take advantage of the plants that I already have in my yard. As you will see, I have many projects in progress, and I also have many that I have completed, and then many plans for future projects, which I will go over in more detail throughout the video. This year, I am trying not to worry about the weeds as much as I have in the past. It does bring me a lot of anxiety to be behind in getting the weeds taken care of, but this year I'm trying to take walks and enjoy everything that we have. We're gonna start today in the secret garden. This area has not gotten any attention. There's like branches down and it needs to get mowed, but the vinca vine recovered. It was really suffering earlier in the spring, but it's looking really good now. So we have a hellebore right here, which is one of the only ones that survived last winter here, and it's looking really good. There's a pulmonaria that barely survived, and I just replanted this brunnera. All my brunnera, besides one, died last year. This area here had oak wilt on all the trees, so that's why it's a big clearing now. So it's a big open space. We did plant a couple of maple trees that my son started from seed, which is really exciting. I'll go find them and show them to you guys, but I'm kind of thinking this area here, if I do that maybe it'll help a little bit. This area here, I think we're gonna do like some kind of a seeding area, and then I'm still not really sure over here. When we were in Europe last year, there was a couple like tree tunnels, so they just like bend the branches together, and I think that would be really cool here too. So I don't know, we're just gonna keep it like kind of mowed down for now and see where we go. So here are one of the little maple trees that he planted, and it's looking really good. Over in this spot here, I'm making my way back around the circle. We have another hellebore, a pulmonaria that's looking pretty happy here, and the only brunnera that survived last winter. So making our way back around the loop, this is a Semisophuga that I got from a friend here. If I swing around, try not to make you guys sick. Here is the only other hellebore that made it through winter. And then this pulmonaria is just very happy. This one is one of the biggest ones I have. Lisa Marie. I really like this one. And then this is a brunnera that I replanted. And then that takes us back out here. I'm back out front here, and this is the current cut flower area here. I have 4 rows, but next year I'm hoping that this will not be that anymore. We're going to convert that to landscaping, and it will be moved over here beyond that pile of compost. So a lot of work to come on that still. Haven't really even gotten started with it. So for this year though, the landscape fabric I had for this area had farther apart holes. So I just mulched this area with grass clippings, and we don't put anything on our lawn, so it's perfectly safe for plants. This is all zinnias in here, and I really had a lot of issues with my zinnias this year. I did soil blocking with them, and they had a thunderstorm on them, and all the soil got washed away. So they were just roots, but they're recovering pretty well. I did have to seed some more, and you can see there's some missing too, but they're really far behind this year, and I mean, that's just the way it is. And then I have my new dahlias over in the back there. And then in this one here, I got Lisianthus in the front, pincushion flowers. We have lots of snapdragons, which I need to even do more of those next year. They're my favorite. They're so good. And then we have some stock here, which I've cut quite a bit of that already. And then here we have some Rudbeckia that overwintered, and I think this is Cherokee Sunset variety, which isn't supposed to overwinter here, I don't think, in zone 4, but it has been. And then this definitely is not supposed to overwinter, and we had such a harsh winter last year. I'm really surprised that we got this. So this is the Indian Summer Rudbeckia, which is really fun. So that's cool. And then the rest, this one also overwintered, and then the smaller ones in here I started from seed this year, which are really looking good as well. Oh my gosh, the blindweed. I need to just go through and get all that taken care of. It's out of control so fast. So then this bed here, I have some empty spots here that I can seed some stuff. There was 2 asters that made it. I don't know, I just really been struggling with those the last couple of years. And then we have some hot biscuits, amaranth. Then I had angel wings, I think, next. Some of the, I think people call them like Billy Balls or Crispidia. And then the rest of this is celosia, because obviously you can never have too much celosia. One of my favorite cut flowers to add into bouquets. And then going out on its way out there is the anemone and ranunculus, and that has gotten pretty weedy, but we'll be popping those out pretty soon. The leaves are starting to yellow and die back now that we've had super hot weather. Ooh, almost fell over. Okay, so then this area, oh, there's a loud car going by. I think it was a truck. So this area is gonna get a makeover next year. I'm totally revamping this, so I'm gonna keep the tree and the shrubs, but everything else is coming out. We're gonna do a new border in here, and I'm gonna make this area more cohesive with the median garden on the other side over here. So it's going to be pinks and purples and a lot of the same varieties. The more of less is more kind of theory here. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of work going on here. So I'm not really worrying about this too much this year. I'm very excited for this. I think we're gonna do like some kind of a seating area over here too. So this area doesn't have much going on right now. All my petunias are getting mowed down currently by rabbits or deer, I'm not sure which. So pretty pathetic little showing up here. But all the iris foliage looks really good. And then these are Leotris, Gay Feather, Blazing Star, whatever you want to call them. So I'll be putting on their show shortly here. You can probably see, now it's really sunny. They're all budded up. So those will be fun in a little while here. All right, so we had some major death this year in this area here. So I had 4 of these Oh So Easy Italian ice roses, and one of them survived. It was super devastating. I have some Hakanakloa back here, and I'm hoping to divide those. Those are some of my favorites here. Now we have a super loud plane flying over. It's just noisy here today. So this needs to get weeded, but I have some seed dahlias that I planted here that are doing pretty good. So I'm excited to see what they produce. It'll be interesting. Before we leave this area, I was going to show you quick the blooms that I'm currently working on here. So this is a Fama White Scabiosa. This, I don't know what's going on. Like, both of these kind of made weird leaves, if you can even see that. So I'm not sure what's going on there. The snaps are all getting really close. There's Potomac Ivory over there, and these were something frappe, but the florets on them are really pretty. I really like this, and that light pink is gorgeous. And then this is some of the stock that I have. This is all Alto variety from Baker's Creek, and it is a spray type, so it's not like a single cut. You can cut it and it will come back. And then you guys already saw the Rudbeckia. Here are my planters for this year, and I really wanted a cool, calming, soothing palette for these. I saw this palette at Home Depot last year, and I'm like, yep, this is it. Like, this is what I'm going to be going for this year. So we have some lemon coral sedum. We got angel wings, Persian shield in here, a spider plant. This is fountain grass. I knew I was going to forget that one. These petunias, or violas, I'm not sure which one they are. They were in my spring planters and they matched so well, I just decided to leave them in. We got some Silver Falls dichondra, some lime sweet potato vine. I have a really dark, pretty purple heuchera in here. And that I just divided some that were out in the landscaping. This is some helichrysum, and I think that's it. But I really like how calming these are this year. And they're just going to get bigger and more beautiful. These beauties are rain lilies from my great grandma, and they have to go down in the basement every winter because they are not hardy here. But when it rains, they send up their flowers, and we have been getting plenty of rain here. So these are really putting on their show now. And you may have seen these hanging in some of the other shots, but this is the first year I've done hanging baskets. And these baskets are beautiful. I'll put the link in the description, but they are really, really nice. So I've just done like a variety of purples, some petunias, and some Superbena. And I just really like it. So that was something new for me this year. All right, next we are on to the median garden area. So in here, currently the only thing in bloom is the petunias here. There's a bobo hydrangea in the middle here that will be blooming soon. It looks like it's starting to put on some flowers. I also have lavender planted in front, but it's still super tiny, so we'll see what that does this year. And none of the iris bloomed up here this year, besides this, I think it's the Siberian iris. And the peonies just finished up too, and their foliage actually still looks really good. So this is my biggest bane of my existence right now. This is soapwort, and it is highly invasive. They send runners down, and they've been like absolutely impossible to get rid of. So now that it's starting to bloom, I need to like cut it back, but I've been starting to work on it, just at least trying to contain it. If I can get it around the corner here, you can see that's as far as I went. Yeah, it's a lot of work. So more to come on that. So in this area, the Betony humalo is about to bloom. These are really, really pretty. I really like these plants. I'm definitely going to be dividing these and doing some more. Sorry, I just got a bug in my eye. The salvia just got done. These are serendipity alliums, and they're just getting ready to bloom. I'm very excited about those. I also want more of those. I did pop some coleus in here that haven't been super happy yet, so we'll see how they do. And then back here by Hank, this is all summerberry yarrow that I've been cutting for cut flowers. It's really doing well this year. This is its second year. I can actually probably divide some of those and spread them out a little bit more too. And then this is the Karl Forster grass. I saw it out this morning and I'm like, what is that? It was just like glowing, kind of like it is now. I think it looks great. I also planted 3 of these. They are dwarf Alberta spruce, and we are going to cut spirals in them. My son is very excited for those. I also planted all of my dahlias, well, not all of them in here, but many of the dahlias in here. So here's one, and they're all going to be throughout the landscaping this year a little bit more, which is going to be different for me, and I'm interested to see how I like that. So we have some petunias back here too. And the Speedwell or Veronica is just starting to bloom over here. These ones look a little bit not having the best time over here. And then this is a penstemon that I planted from seed that's blooming this year. I'm not sure if I like it or not. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay. And then this guy here is the Anise hyssop, and that's doing pretty well this year. I planted that from seed last year too. The lamb's ear, like as we go down this area, it gets better and better. The ones on the end didn't survive. These ones did okay. It's kind of a weird year for those. And then this guy here, this ivory halo dogwood, last year I had some fungus problems with that, so I sprayed it once and I probably should do it again. We've just been getting so much rain, it's so hard to keep track of it. There's a delphinium blooming back there. Just a lone little guy. The Nepeta in the back is Walker Junior Walker, and that is just about out of bloom too, so that can get a trim back. That's kind of the highlights over here. And I'll swing around to the back side here. I did plant a blue spruce back here. If you can even see that little guy. He was $10, so he's gonna take a while to get bigger. But we just needed something for this area to have more of an anchor. We have this, I think it's a birch, river bark birch, something like that. That's a huge tree that's anchoring back there, but this space needed something else. So that is the median garden right now. And if we swing back on the back side here, the sedum I got from a friend, and it is loving its life right here. It's a fun little pop of color. And we have some more dahlias, and these are the Gomphrena, and this is a Gara. So the Gara is new for me this year. I started it from seed. So we'll see how we like that there. It's probably going to get choked out by the dahlias in a little bit here. And that's a sage leaf willow in the middle there, which is beautiful this year. I'm going to keep that trim to be pretty much that size and see how it goes. And here's a closer up of that summerberry yarrow. They're just such nice pastels. Okay, next is the garage garden. So this is a pink themed garden, and I just got it weeded and mulched, so it looks really good right now. And we do have some holes in here, which is exciting because then I can pick out some more things. So this is the Baptisia, and I don't know what color it is, but it's like a really dusty, deep pink. It's beautiful. I love it so much. And it's huge this year, and I've been cutting on it for foliage for cut flowers, which is awesome. This is a pink balloon flower, which is not really loving its life right now. So we'll see how that one does. That's a new one this year. We have another allium in here as well. This one was more pink. I can't remember. Champagne Bubbles maybe. And this is Miss America hosta. I just don't like hostas, but this one's okay with me. And this is a variegated sedum, which is probably one of my favorite plants in the whole garden. The sedum was from my great-grandma's house. This is a tiny wine 9-bark, which is going to be in bloom here soon. I really have been enjoying this in this space. I needed something that was good to anchor it, but not too gigantic, and this has been perfect. I didn't even know it existed until I found him. I was very happy with that. And that was a calla lily I added this year, so that will have, the bulbs will have to come out and be stored over winter. You can see the cactus in the back there. So the peach tree, I think, barely survived winter this year. It had died back quite a bit. It is recovering, but it just does not look great. So we'll see how that does this year and into next year. And then this was a dwarf plum that we planted this year, and that has been doing pretty good. Now we're into the shade part of the lily garden here. Kind of give you a gist of where we're at in the back. This area needs to get weeded very badly. So this is a heuchera that I got a couple years ago, and it was really struggling, and that's the only one that came back. I had quite a few of them that I had divided. Last year was just so hard on them. This is a primrose and a pulmonaria. And then this is some trillium that was here when we moved in. I do have some variegated Jacob's ladder that I moved out from under that tree in front with all that soapwort. So various places in the garden. This is a new hosta that I just planted. I can't even remember what its name was, but it looks a lot like Miss America, mostly white. And just a variety of mostly weeds, but some heuchera and sedum in here. This one I really like with the pink flowers and that silver foliage. It looks great. And then there's one more pulmonaria back here that's doing really good. All right. Then if I swing down here, this is a hellebore that I had just planted this spring before I realized all mine died. They're so expensive, but I'm hoping this one survives. And this is the hellebore graveyard here, so I wanted some really happy petunias in this area. And then there are a bunch of dahlias planted in here too, which you can just barely see beyond the weeds right now. This is a Stamp by Me clematis. Looks like it's budding up. I'm excited to see what that looks like here. And then the lilies are all just about to go. I'm hoping the deer don't find them like they did last year and we get some blooms. I've also been battling the lily beetle, which we can probably find some. The larvae eat your leaves, so if you're starting to miss leaves, that could be what's going on, or you could just have a ambitious rabbit. I think this is the Stella Orso lily. It was here when we moved in. They get gigantic. I've split it like I don't even know how many times and given so many to friends. It's always the first to bloom, and it's such a happy yellow. So most of these like Asiatic lilies types I'm going to be using for cut flowers. And this is a mini dahlia that I got a few years ago, and I've just been popping it out and putting it in the basement every year in a pot and letting it dry out, and it's been doing great. I can probably divide it, but it's such a fun little guy. And then this is the Empress Rue Hosta, which really was struggling earlier, but it's looking better. It might get too much sun here, actually. And then back here with the not quite installed yet trellis, this is a climbing hydrangea. So I'm very excited about this. It does bloom, gets flowers, and it sets all of these runners, which then set roots. So I'm going to let it spread out a little bit, and then I'm going to encourage it to go up. Very excited for that for the future. Now we are on to the vegetable garden, and then connected here is what we call the orchard. So that has a little bit more cut flowers in it. So that's what's left for our tour here. So in this row, I have some herbs planted. So this was actually a sage that overwintered, and it's a lot bigger than the ones that I started from seed. There's just so many weeds here. It's hard to keep up. And then some rosemary that we started from seed as well on the sides. And then we have some chamomile. We have some celery, leeks, carrots, which I had to reseed some. There's like quite the hole there. It doesn't really look like, well, maybe some are coming up. And then onions and shallots. Those are all looking pretty good. And then I got squash, and that one looks really wilted. I'm gonna have to check what's going on with that one right there. Probably bugs. Cucumbers in the back. These peas, oh my gosh, they are like probably 5.5 feet tall-ish. These are Sugar Daddy, I believe. Some of them I probably already, I ate some of the pods and they weren't the sweetest. So I'm hoping those get sweeter as they get more mature. More squash along here, and I do still have winter rye in here. I'm debating on leaving some of it go to seed, just to collect for next year. That was my cover crop. So I just kind of left it in between the plants for right now. I also have some brassicas, which I don't know what is what anymore besides the kale, because things ate it and I shifted them all together and I should have tracked it better, but we'll figure it out eventually. All right, and then if I back up, I got tomatoes here and then some more herbs. And this is something I'm growing for a cut flower, but for the life of me, I can't remember what it is right now. Some type of like spinach that you can use for foliage. But it's really pretty, so we'll see how that goes. And then I have a lavender here, which almost died. It didn't like a cold snap that we had. And then we have an in-ground potato here. We have basil. We have, what were these? I don't remember. Oh, caraway. And then this is more sage. And then this is bronze fennel. It's kind of hard to see probably. This I'm growing for cut flowers as well. And then the rest of this basil is also for cut flowers. So this is Mrs. Burns lemon. And then cinnamon is behind that with the darker stem. And then there's opal basil behind that, which I didn't grow the opal last year. It's really pretty. I'm hoping it gets taller. And then we have soybeans? Yes. For edamame, basically. I see a potato bug crawling there. I'm gonna have to get my little vacuum out and suck some up. And then tomatoes. And if I jump over here quick, the garlic, which is probably a week or two, which I missed some scapes, week or two out from harvest. So we're looking for, like, this one is definitely ready right here already. But the rest of them are still really quite green. And then this year I planted Vortex pole beans. Those are very vigorous so far. The leaves are absolutely gigantic. I'm interested. I heard lots of good reviews on those. Some more tomatoes. And then these are some zinnias back here. And then peppers, which are all pretty small so far, but like this one is really starting to take off. So they just need some time. We got zucchinis, and then we got ground cherries up here. And then these are the potatoes. They're all in grow bags or in pots. The stupid potato beetles are just terrible this year again. So these are all huge plants, like absolutely huge. So I'm hoping for a good harvest this year. Then down here we got more kale, and then I think I got some gomphrena in here. And then these are green drops grasses for cut flowers, but they're already like doing their thing and they're not very long. So we'll see how that goes. They might not get enough light here, especially with these potatoes like overtaking them. And then these are the frosted explosion grass. And then the rest of this, I planted zinnias from seed, which there's some coming up. Another kale. Hibiscus. There we go. This is also for cut flowers. It does not flower. Here is another, this one's probably on its like third year. Indian Summer Rebecca. I don't know that this one flowered last year. So looks like it's going to this year. It's behind the ones in front that get much more light. So This is my already extremely weedy strawberry patch. Very frustrated with this area. We didn't get many strawberries this year. I don't know if it was the weather or thinning the plants too late or what, but I'm gonna probably rethink this area for next year. All right, then the jungle. Oh my gosh, look at how overgrown this is. We need to tackle this area and get it cleaned up. The blackberries are just taking over. They're so big. Look at this one. That has to be like 12 feet tall. That is just ridiculous. Anyway, we have some also giant asparagus back here, putting down some good roots for next year. I need to get in and weed this again. I don't think I mulched it in quite heavy enough. We'll see. Oh no. What is that? Squash bug. Shoot. So the battle continues. All right, so we got these two trees. So these are dwarf apple trees back here, and those two have apples on them. I'm so excited. Hopefully the bugs don't eat them and we can have some for this year. All right, and then we're over to the cut flowers here, which are doing really good back here this year. We've got a bug straw flower, which there's some, I think these were like Orange King or something like that variety. We have some stock back here as well. And then some Sweet William, which is doing good. Just starting to go. This one is so bright and cheery. And then I have Status, which is doing really good. Mostly Forever Silver. I just like that white. Obviously white matches everything. We have some Feverfew, which is getting close to budding here. And then if you see these random blueberry plants in here, it's because hopefully this area, I won't need to do cut flowers in here and it can be just blueberries next year with that new expansion. These are some flowering kale, which are probably a little too far ahead. I should start some more from seed right now and see how they do moving towards fall. And then this in here is some cress, which is doing okay. I don't know. I had like one good year with cress and now it's just not doing so well. And then this is winter wheat, or black wheat and blue wheat in here. That just looks like grass right now for cut flowers. Planted something else in here, but it doesn't look like anything but weeds. And then we have our sunflowers, which these are planted 2 inches apart. And I did that last year, and they make the tiniest little sunflowers that are perfect for cut flowers, because sunflower heads can be gigantic. So those are doing really well. And I think this week I need to plant another round. I was going to do every 2 weeks. And then another blueberry. And then we did plant some honeyberries back here. So this is one of them, if you can see that through the weeds. And it looks like it's happy. It's nice and green. And then the other one is over here somewhere. Ugh, taken over by, it's in there. It's in its little cage. Looks happy, but I need to release. Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Yeah, so some of it is still good with the chips, but most of it is becoming jungle. All right, friends, that is it for the tour today. Thank you for joining.